going to show you how I use AI in my images. It's a bat file. You can do a search online how to install Stable Diffusion. It'll launch the bat file and it'll launch Stable Diffusion in the web browser. While that's firing up, I'm going to open up Max. So this is a typical scene. I use a plugin called PSD Manager. This saves out my render as a PSD with all my elements and all my scene layers. Render that out, open up in Photoshop, and then, so this is the raw render, and then I use the elements and some masks to kind of highlight some things. And then down here in my scene layers, I can go to something like trees. Or let's do bushes. Let's find bushes. Control click. So you can see it highlights the bushes. Control J. Control click. I'm going to fill that with white. Control D to deselect. Create a layer underneath. Fill that with black. Control E, collapse it, and then I export that as a PNG. Okay, over here in Stable Diffusion, image to image, I upload that PSD. I come here to resize and kind of pull that box until it fills the scene, and I hit T square. In Paint Upload, I upload that PNG again. I upload a mask, and then I go to only mask, and then here the denoiser, I bring it about halfway. Basically the hallucination slider, so more to the right, it gives the AI more creative freedom. I don't give it much because my image is 95% there. I just AI to suddenly enhance it. I can give it some prompts like tropical bushes, or I can leave it blank in this case. Hit generate, and then less than a minute, I'll have a new image. I can go back to here to see the progress, 27%. So when you hear somebody uses AI, that's pretty subjective because how much AI are they using? You can create an entire image using AI, but you have very little control. You can do what I'm doing and use AI to subtly enhance details, which I think is where the magic is at. Using AI to totally create an image, it is what it is. You kind of run it again, you get a whole different image. Some people run AI on the entire render, and then they mask out what they don't like. But since my images are pretty close to my finals, I like to use masks to subtly enhance things. So it's done. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up using Photoshop. Control A, Control C. And I'm going to paste it over. So you can see it's pretty subtle, but it makes a difference. So things like this, if the client wanted white flowers, then obviously that won't work. So I can lower the denoiser, or I can mask the AI version out. In this case, I didn't really request flowers, so that's good. Control A to collapse it. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back, reload the new one, reload a new mask. Let's do pine straw mulch. This one is effective because what I use in my renderer is in pine straw, and the client wanted pine straw. So here, again, so I have the mask, I have the new render. I'm using the same denoiser and the same only mask. And then in a minute, I'll have something that looks pretty convincingly like pine straw mulch. At least the client was happy with it. So I've been playing with AI for probably a year now, and there's things that it doesn't look right, things that do look right. Like I said, here, pine straw mulch does it very well. The bushes does it well. Roofs not so much. Grass not so much. So you kind of, it's trial and error. I'm going to open this one. Open with Photoshop. Control A, Control C. Control paste in. So it looks much more like pine straw. Control A. Save that out. Let's do the roof. So I'm going to get rid of that. Let's go down to my layers, and there's a roof layer. Control J, Control click, edit fill, white. Control D to deselect, create my layer underneath it, so it's black. Control A, export that. Go back here. Reload that new one. Upload the mask. And we do page, gray, wood, roof, chicks. Last page, gray, okay, generate. So in the past, this has been miss or hit or miss. I'm kind of happy with what I have. I'm using displacement, specular, glossiness, normal maps. I think it looks pretty good, but let's see if AI can enhance that. I can see here that the bushes with the mulch kind of did a very good job anchoring the bushes. So I would spend more time playing with some settings. But I'll show you the final when this is done. Okay, that was a fail. I wouldn't use those. So here my project folder. Here's the final. Here's that raw PST file. right here is the raw render outside of 3ds Max using V-Ray. I used some elements for some reflections, some specular, I added some detail in the shapes or the shutters and the sighting. Basically, it's just line render. My grass, so that's all render grass. I paste a photo, I use some lighting material. This is the reflection, kind of boost that, add some yellow or some blue to it, flatten it out. And then I went through AI, and as you can see, there are some issues here with hallucination, which I can paint out. And it looks like there's some issues here I can paint out. So I'm going to copy this, paste it over. That fixes that. Looks like that line there is a long, so that was fine. So that was the only problem was. So before and after. That is before. Well, we can't say that. Let's go back here. That is raw. That is post-production. That is AI plus more post-production. So if you have any questions, let me know.